What's up, people? It's Multiplier here, and because it's Monday, part of my brand new schedule I devised, every Monday I give you a really quick little Ableton tip. So today what it's all about is a cool little button. It's a triangular button and it appears in EQA or Spectrum, and it basically does a cool thing. So what button are we talking about? It's this button down here. So do some sort of mouse effect. And then click the button, and then it makes it kind of go up there. So what is a spectrum analyzer? Well, normally when you play like a shitty little lead guitar loop or any sort of sound through it, as you can see, it kind of just shows you what sort of frequencies are doing what. So, but once you click this little button, you can see it all kind of spread out and shit. Much nicer. Cool thing about that is you can basically set up like a default track. So like whenever I load up a new track, I have a spectrum analyzer loaded up in this expanded out form. And it basically just means that pretty much the whole time, no matter what track I load up, I get a cool little spectrum analyzer showing me exactly what frequencies are doing what, so I can spot mistakes and get a better idea of what's going on. So how do you set default tracks? You're probably asking. Something like file or create or even insert. I should have done some... How do you set default? It must be some way of doing it. Right. How do you set a default? Do you right click? Maybe there's a right click involved. There you go. So what you do, you set up your audio track. So because by default, you won't have this set up like me. Set up, load up an audio track, stick your spectrum analyzer in or your EQ8. Actually, let's do it with an EQ8. That might be a better idea. So we'll load up a brand new audio track. Get rid of that. Let's load up EQ8 because you can do it with this too. Click this little button, and now you have your EQ8 up here, which you can do all sorts of EQ things with. Let's say we want to set that to be our default track, so that every time we load up an audio track, we can do this with the MIDI as well. It comes up with this. We want to do all these things. So we do right click, save as default audio track, a default audio track, ignore, yes. And there you go, we have it. Lovely little Ableton quick tip. In fact, that was 2 tips in one. So that's the sort of bonus material you get when you're dealing with Multiplier. But yeah, that's it. Boom, kabloom, done. Whatever. I should probably take to do something now, but I've just given you a tip. Whatevs, Trevs.